What's going on, everybody? Serious news here. It's from MSN. It's from The Sun by Gene Marabella, and it's the Baltimore Sun, and it's Maryland's. It's called "The Maryland Police Officer's Death Ignites a Racial Firestorm." So it's. Let's see here. Let me just find out if I hear. Okay, so that goes. Computer. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is from Baltimore, and it's Baltimore Sun, and it says it's hard to think of a more volatile mix. Four young black males from Baltimore City accused in the death of a white female police officer in Baltimore County. Authorities say three of the teenagers were breaking into homes, and the fourth ran the officer over in a stolen Jeep. Predictably enough, social media, call-in radio, and other forums blew up, sampling from the Baltimore County Police and Fire Facebook page. I was hoping they'd kill him during apprehension. What a waste of life. He's currently breathing air some decent person could be breathing. End quote. Quote, I personally am tired good-for-nothing hood rats committed adult crimes, and people in the still, all caps, saying crap like, he had hard times growing up. Society made him do these things because he had no role models. End quote. That says, quote, I hope all you whites have the same level of outrage next time one of your youths decide to shoot up a school of innocent children. Another wrote, quote, you all are a disgusting group of devils. End quote. No previous case has been generated as much online reaction. County Fire spokeswoman Elise Armacost said authorities pleaded repeatedly for civility, and the county staff took down comments that contained profanity or were typed in all caps. But they have struggled to keep up with the avalanche of angry postings, many of which called for the accused driver to be hanged, shot, run over, or raped. Sadly, end quote, sadly, quote, these comments are a microcosm of conflicts and lack of civility we see in the country right now, Armacost said. Stephanie DeLuca, a Johns Hopkins sociologist, has studied Baltimore youth. She's also a daughter of a 40-year-old veteran in the Chicago Police Department. She described the absolutely awful, in quotations, case is a kind of perfect polarizing storm. Those quotes, it touches all the intersections of race, policing, city, county, said DeLuca, co-author of the 2016 Coming of Age in the Other America. And it goes, quote, in quotations, once fear is sparked, anger is sparked, she said. Authorities say the teenagers were burglarizing homes in Imperial Hall Monday afternoon when Baltimore County Police Amy S. Caprio approached the Jeep. They say driver DeWanta Harris, 16, of the Gilmore Homes Public Housing Project in West Baltimore, ran her over. Caprio died in a short time later. Harris and 3 other youths were charged as adults with first-degree murder. The black youths had driven to the county populated in no small part of the decades of white flight from the city, fueled heated exchanges online and over the airwaves, where some saw predatory animals and thugs, others saw demonization and a rush to judgment, finger pointing between city prosecutors and state juvenile officials only added to the fire. In quotations, it's time we just turn the city over to the hoodlums and just let them annihilate ourselves. End quote. One commentator wrote in the Baltimore Sun's Facebook page. DeLuca, I'm saying that right. DeLuca said the anger obscures an important point. Most young people in Baltimore's impoverished neighborhoods are going to school or working or both, not out on the streets and creating mayhem. They're looking for something to do, something to be about, she said. This is about human development, personal development, finding meaning and dignity, and these are a short supply in Baltimore. Instead, she said, it's people like Harris who the authorities say fled home detention this month while awaiting sentencing for a car theft, who are viewed as the norm. The thing I think is important to remember is this is not a typical kid, DeLuca said, but I think I'm saying it wrong. DeLucia said, but no one wants to hear that in the face of this tragedy. End quote. Indeed, online comments tend to follow a pattern. A poster calls suspects to rot in prison, and actually they should get a deal. They should get the death penalty. Others chime in with similar proposals until eventually someone demurs and perhaps expresses empathy for the youth's family, pointing out that pleas of guilt suspects would escape accountability. Then that draws a backlash and the cycle continues. On WBAL radio, host Clarence M. Mitchell IV, callers have been talking about little else. What are you talking about? Quote, quotations. What are you talking about? A black woman from Gilmore Harms in a very, very white area, and a white family police officer. The racial dynamics can't be eliminated, said Mitchell, a former Democratic state senator and a scion of a family of civil rights activists. I don't want to say, but he said, in quotations, people who get involved with racial animus now generally get called out for it, a change from the past. Juvenile Services Secretary says Baltimore County officers' killing shows youth justice system failed. He sees a real issue in the case as the failings of the juvenile systems and juvenile justice systems. Harris has been arrested in several car thefts before Monday and has been ordered on home detention this month. If we worry about some people's language, you're never going to help these kids. Let's not be so defensive, Mitchell said. I'm sorry at some point we have to stop being so sensitive. We're worried about how we look as opposed to correcting this reality. Quotations, the reality is we have a problem. We are in a violent city. We have a dysfunctional juvenile justice system, he said. Pause there real quick. Those are the facts. Pause there real quick. And then it goes on to say, Pietila, who has written about the ways decades-old laws, racial covenants, and redlining created a segregation that persists in much of Baltimore's region today, said the reaction to Caprio's death reveals a continuing tension between city and county. Your client is a one-man crime wave. Teen charged in Baltimore County's officer's death has lengthy juvenile record. After white flight, a lot of people moved to Baltimore County, felt victimized by blacks. They made me move, said Pietila, author of Not in My Neighborhood, How Bigotry Shaped the Great American City. At stressful times, all these emotions come out, he said. These are not logical matters. These are matters where emotions rise and prejudice take hold. Pietila is a former reporter and editorial writer of the Baltimore Sun. While city and county tensions have a long history, he said now they play out in a context of noisy, divisive political climate. Quote, what is part of the discussion is the demonization of certain groups that is happening at a national level, he said. Quote, a lot of people who have strong feelings may be used to be more circumspect. Now they feel that now they let their feelings out. State Del Pat Donahue, who is running for Republican primary in Baltimore County executive, unloaded on his Facebook page Wednesday night. Here we go again. Another thug destroys the life of an innocent person. This time it's a wonderful woman in law enforcement. But Donahue wrote, only thing these thugs are good at is destroying lives. The radical left loves the thugs and keeps complaining about the massive incarceration, while in reality none of them get locked up, but just roam our neighborhoods. Baltimore Police Chief Officer Caprio was the type of officer you'd want to hire. And goes on to say that the Baltimore City Councilman John Bullock said some will view the officer's death as validation of fears that led many to flee the city for the county in the first place, and how even that won't keep them safe. I was going to say a few more things here. We're just going to stop there. And it's a long article. You can read that there in the what we call Baltimore Sun, and it's off of MSN. So we'll stop there.